Listen, if she's pulling away, your first instinct is to think she's not interested, that she's ghosting you, that you did something wrong. But what if I told you the opposite might be true? What if the reason she's creating distance isn't because she doesn't care, but because she cares too much, and she's terrified of what that means? Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal contradicts everything you've been told about female psychology. And there's one specific behavior at the end of this video that 99% of men completely misread. When you see it, you'll know with absolute certainty she's fighting her own feelings. But first, you need to understand something disturbing. The same woman who's scared of you today might have already imagined a future with you. And that's exactly why she's running. I'm going to show you the exact signs that separate a woman who's genuinely uninterested from one who's protecting herself from falling too hard. Because when you can read these signals, everything changes. You stop panicking, you stop chasing, and you start understanding what's really happening beneath the surface. So let's start with the uncomfortable question. Why would a woman run from someone she actually likes? The truth about why she's pulling back. Picture this. She was warm, engaged, flirty. You had great conversations. She laughed at your jokes. The chemistry was undeniable. Then suddenly she goes cold. Her texts get shorter. She's suddenly busy all the time. The energy shifts completely. Your brain tells you one thing. She lost interest. Move on. But here's what most men don't understand, and this is going to sound insane. Sometimes the strongest feelings create the strongest resistance, and there's actual neuroscience behind this. When a woman develops unexpected feelings, her brain releases the same stress hormones as when she's in danger. Her amygdala literally treats emotional vulnerability like a physical threat. Think about that. Her body is chemically telling her to run from you, not because you're bad for her, but because you might be too good. Why? Because vulnerability is terrifying, especially for women who've been hurt before, for women who pride themselves on being independent, for women who didn't plan on catching feelings for you. When a woman starts developing real feelings, it triggers something deep. Fear of losing control, fear of getting hurt, fear of wanting someone more than they want her. And here's the part that'll blow your mind. She's probably tested you already without you even knowing it. Small tests, deliberate distance, manufactured drama, all to see if you'll chase like every other guy. And depending on how you responded, you either passed or failed without realizing there was even a test happening. But I'll reveal what those tests look like in just a moment, because once you know, you'll see them everywhere. The protective mechanism kicks in. Create distance, build walls. Pull back before it goes too far. This isn't logical, it's emotional survival. Her brain is trying to protect her heart. And ironically, the more she likes you, the harder she might push you away. But here's the key, and this is critical. When a woman is scared of catching feelings, she doesn't just disappear completely. She leaves clues, patterns, contradictions that don't make sense. If she's truly uninterested, and that's exactly what we're about to decode. But before I show you the signs, you need to understand something that most dating coaches won't tell you. There's one type of woman who will never show these signs, no matter how much she likes you. And if you're dealing with her, everything I'm about to teach you won't work. Stay until the end, because I'll reveal who she is and how to spot her immediately. So, how do you tell the difference between genuine disinterest and emotional self-pee protection? That's where the real insight begins. The signs. She's actually scared of catching feelings. Before we go deeper, just do one thing for me. Hit the like button, because what's coming next includes a sign so subtle that when I reveal it, you'll immediately think of someone in your life right now. Let's keep going. Here's the first sign, and it's the most confusing one. Hot and cold behavior. One day she's texting you back instantly, laughing, sharing personal things. The next day she's distant, taking hours to respond, giving you one-word answers. If she didn't care at all, the temperature would be consistently cold. But this back and forth, that's internal conflict. Part of her wants to lean in, part of her wants to run. And here's something disturbing. The warmer she gets, the colder she'll go the next day. It's not random, it's proportional. Had an amazing conversation last night. Watch her ghost you tomorrow morning. When you see this pattern, it's not rejection, it's resistance to her own feelings. She's punishing herself for getting too close. But wait, there's a hidden sign within this sign. Pay attention to when she goes cold. If it's always right after deep conversations or vulnerable moments, that's your smoking gun. Second sign, and this one's psychological. She gets defensive when you get too close. You ask her something personal. You compliment her in a meaningful way. You talk about the future, even casually, and suddenly she deflects, makes a joke, changes the subject, gets uncomfortable. Women who are uninterested don't get defensive. They just don't engage. But when she's scared of feelings, emotional intimacy feels dangerous. So she puts up walls the moment things feel too real. Now here's where it gets interesting. Watch what happens if you pull back after she gets defensive. Does she chase? Does she suddenly reach out with something random? If yes, you just confirmed she's scared because she doesn't want you close, but she also doesn't want you gone. Third sign. And